Hello, and welcome to the Big Macs on Campus podcast. For this one, I'm joined with Lorna and Karima, both from my seminar class. And the first question we have today is for Lorna. It's how does social media affect someone's social life and ability to sustain relationships?
So many people believe that social media inhibits a person's ability to communicate in face-to-face situations. However, I don't really believe this. I personally believe that um, social media doesn't harm our ability to communicate face to face, and I think it helps us with communication. It helps us build relationships, and it helps us keep bonds. If like a friend or family member lives really far away, social media allows us to stay in contact. And a lot of people use social media to relate to people who have similar problems or issues that they have. And social media has a lot of outlets for people to get help and meet other people. So that's why I think social media is a wonderful tool to bring people together. Yeah.
All right, Karima, do you want to add anything onto that? Or we can move on to the next question.
I feel like the main thing about social media affecting the way people like interact is when you're on social media a lot, you start to talk different. It's like when people start to talk how they text and like they shorten their words and stuff. I feel like that's the only thing that it really changes more so.
Hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. People do be talking quicker and in a little more slang term whenever comparing it back to social media.
Yeah. I agree with you, Karima, that it might change the way we talk and like might affect the slang and everything. But I still think that humans can have like effective communication and that it
Yeah,
doesn't
through
really
social
harm
media.
the connection.
Yeah,
All
because
right,
I use
next
social
go.
media a lot for family.
Hmm.
Yeah. So our next question is actually also related to social media. It's for Karima. Do you think someone's job can be affected by social media?
I feel like social media can help a lot of people, especially like in small businesses and stuff. I feel like a lot of jobs make it because of social media. Like it helps a lot of jobs network and stuff. That's how a lot of people actually succeed these days. So I don't feel like it can actually be affected by it unless it's in a good way. It just depends how you use it and like what you choose to post.
Hmm. I think social media affects, like you said, Karima, in a lot of positive ways, but I also think it can be harmful because every employer looks at like a person's social media account before hiring them. So this is why like it's really important for people to watch what they put online because if you put something on the internet, it's there forever and anybody can find it. So if somebody's posting something that's like against company guidelines, then they could lose their job or they could not be hired for the job.
That was what I was gonna say. I remember like a lot of people were getting their college like acceptance letters and the college acceptance taken away because they were posting racist stuff. They were doing racist things on their social media. And the social media videos or pictures were sent to the colleges and they were like, now we don't want them. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as they should. They should not have let those
That's why I
racist
said it's
people in
really
the
based on
colleges.
what they choose to post. Like you have to like choose what you want to post because whatever happens and whatever outcome is only going to affect you.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's really positive, but that's why it's important to make sure you're monitoring what you're doing on social media.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, for our last question for today, it can be either one of you can take this one. Do you think kids being brought up by social media have less intellectual space than our generation or generations prior?
I'll start. I do not think that we have less intellectual space. There's a lot of differences in our generation and like our parents' generation since we did grow up with social media. Um, like at the past generation, they definitely spent a lot of more time like outside or with friends or like working than on social media like we do. But although our generation does spend a lot more time on social media, I do not think that means we have less intellectual space.
I feel like it's going to be worse for our kids as opposed to what it is for us because we still grew up with parents that didn't have social media. So when we were younger, we weren't like fully indulged in it as opposed to what our kids may be. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it'll be worse for them than it is for us.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. As the more kids come along, we were born into generations with smartphones and heightened technology, but we still have a bunch of old ones. We were barely hit in the
Yeah,
social
we
media
weren't like
age.
fully indulged when we were kids. Nowadays,
Yeah,
it's 1-year-olds that have more Instagram followers than all three of us
Mm-hmm.
put together.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't even get my first phone until I was in high school, and like I didn't really have social media, but like my younger siblings, they're 10 years old and they already have a phone and like they have Snapchat and Instagram, so they're
Yeah,
definitely more immersed into social
I
media
didn't
than
make a
I
social
was.
media until like my freshman year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
and social media is something that was like it was a privilege to get a social media like
Yeah,
back in high school, middle school for me. But it's like a guarantee, and if you don't have it now, you're not cool. You're just not accepted into like the kid society
or you're
if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a good social media with a bunch of followers and a good following.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that is actually the whole time we have today. So I must thank Lorna and Karima for coming on the Big Macs on Campus podcast. See you guys in the next one.
bye.